Alright, final test. This good? There's a cat somewhere in this room. I don't know where it is. Is it outside?
You want to be in my video? Would you like to be in my video? Say hi to everyone. Whoop. Say hi, Ellie. Say hello. Say hello.
I don't think she liked that. So, this is going to be unscripted. I don't normally do stuff like this, and I'm probably going to heavily edit it, and I might not even post it. But I have a cat here, and that makes everything better. So, maybe I don't. I'm about to lose a cat, it seems like. But all of that aside, I am here because, as some of you may know, longtime viewers... Okay, that's good. I am a major Sonic fan. Really have been a large Sonic fan all my life. Some of the first memories of gaming I can ever remember is a Sonic Adventure 1 on the Dreamcast, which I know to some reveals my age as too young, and for others too old. But at about 4 years old, I was playing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, a little bit after that. So and after that I grew up on the classics too. So it wasn't like I was all 3D Sonic all the time. I love Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles. Really big fans all the way through. Advance, kind of in my middle school years, all that kind of thing. So I grew up on those titles. Been a Sonic fan.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Pretty solidly, I would say Sonic was my favorite game series. Sonic Adventure used to be my favorite game for a long time, until kind of late teens, maybe early 20s, when Final Fantasy VI finally beat it out. All that to establish my credentials as someone who's like Sonic. And I've never understood or enjoyed people that want a game to be bad. I totally get the idea of kind of saying this is going to be bad, and everyone's like, no, it's going to be great, and you're like, told you so. I understand that, because I hate when people don't listen. But this idea of people that are like, oh yeah, this Sonic game is going to suck, I never understood that. Even as kind of quality did decline, I'll admit, definitely. People who are almost excited to see Sonic fans disappointed, I never understood that mindset. And I also think, but I don't think anyone can deny that there is that mindset among a lot of different people, because, squeaky chair. Make that a GIF, I'm sure. That can only be good.
Drop it. Yeah.
The cat's just sitting there. She's gonna pounce when I'm not expecting it. That aside, I never understood the idea of wanting these games to fail. But people definitely do. There's no denying that. I think, not everyone, but I think a lot of people really want Sonic games to suck. It's a standard, it's like comfort, because I guess for a lot of newer gamers maybe, they just have for so long. And 06 was such a terrible flop. There had been some questionable Sonic games before then, obviously, super edgy to hedgy comes to mind, but nothing on the scale of Sonic 06, which led to a lot of adventure hate, I also think, and that's what kind of, I think, sparked. People had, there had been some people, I like 2D better because they're tighter, and they were tighter, and some people like, I like 3D because the gameplay's a little bit more freeing, and there's more options, and there was some debate, but there wasn't a huge split until, I think, 06 happened. And then it was, all 3D Sonic sucks, and only 2D was good. And then these people that are like, I want my self-insert Sonic OC character, and Sonic is my best friend. This unhealthy obsession kind of started between some of the kind of snottier older people and some of the immature younger fans. Yeah, but I always thought criticism of most Sonic games is overblown. 06 is truly terrible, but And of course, I don't consider it's not a mainline, but Rise of Lyric is pretty awful too. There's a lot of games that have problems, but aren't bad. I think the Advanced series is great and gets underlooked for some reason. Sonic Rush also is amazing, which I know those are 2D, but even the like, I don't like Colors that much because I think it's just an inferior version. It's a 3D game, embarrassed that it's a 3D game, and I don't like it for that. But it functions well, and Unleashed, for all its problems, was not awful. I even enjoyed the Sonic and the Black Knight games. Yeah, it's a totally different genre. I don't think everyone has to. But I think people overblew how bad Sonic was. They're like, this is literal garbage. And I thought, well, it's certainly not as polished as it could be. But I don't think it's literal garbage. I don't think people overblow how bad the glitches are. Like, you really have to search. People talk about Game Grumps. They're like, oh, you see glitches. Check out Game Grumps on... and how bad the show Sonic Adventure is, and besides the fact that they're playing the bugged port, which I get is the most easily available, but having watched some of that, they're either intentionally trying to find bugs, and those bugs shouldn't be there. They should be cleaned up, but no one playing the game normally. My sister, who doesn't play games, has played the game normally and doesn't run into glitches like that. It doesn't happen. They're looking for them to be funny, and that's the part of the show, but I don't think it's a fair representation of those games. The reason I'm bringing this up is I just beat Sonic Forces, and for the first time in my life, I find myself sitting in the shoes of the people that hate Sonic. I don't want him to fail, that's the difference, but my gosh, it was buggy beyond... It was as buggy as people make out other Sonic games to be. I fell through the floor constantly. Like every 30 seconds, I'm just falling through the floor for no reason. In the stories have all been terrible, I think, since... Shadow was pretty bad. Let's say Sonic Adventure 2, I think, had an interesting and kind of fun story. I don't know people that play Sonic for the story, but just the dialogue was so cringy, and Sonic Adventure is some humorous and kind of corny dialogue, but I think that's part of the fun. Now it's just cheesy in a bad way, it's trying to be self-aware, but it's not good at it. But Sonic Forces is the worst Sonic game I have played since Sonic 06. And even, I think, it's not objectively worse in terms of quality, but it is less fun than Sonic 06, because at least that's so bad it's good. I have a kick playing that game, actually. But Sonic Forces is just bad. So I don't really know where I'm going with this, other than to say that Sonic... 3D Sonic is lost, and Mania was really good, and I'm really worried that Sonic team will look at that and just say, we're done making 3D Sonic. And it's hard to call myself someone who enjoys Sonic, because this is so unbelievably bad. Okay, just falling through the floor, my character, you do that little drifting thing, he shoots out his little, I don't know, spidey web, basically, whatever, and he slides around corners. He just shot it out, and he didn't slide, and just froze there for 20 seconds and then died. And then I was on a grind rail going down, and I jumped just to jump, and I just flew off into space and never landed again. Just went off and died, and the homing attack doesn't work, and it sets up all these villains that you don't even fight. You don't even fight Chaos. You don't fight... I don't even know what else. When I was trying to fight Zavik, you have to wait for him to hit his opening to open, because if you try and hit him before that, you just go through him. Not even you get hit. You just go through him. Unbelievable. I am shocked. I am appalled at the level, at how bad this game is. Glitches aside, the level design is terrible. The physics don't work. You boost, and sometimes Sonic flies up, and sometimes he flies down instead of just going straight like every other game. The homing attack doesn't work. It freaks out and glitches between people you don't know who you're going to hit, and then you hit it, and you just don't hit anything, and you go off into oblivion. The last Sonic game I really loved was Generations. Love is a strong word. I really, really, really liked it. I almost loved it. A couple flaws, but it was a lot more good than bad. And I think this is the least fun Sonic game, not Generations Forces, which is supposed to be a follow-up to Generations, which is one of my most... It's one of my favorite Sonic games in quite some time. It's at least top 5, I think. And the Forces is effectively Generations 2. Everyone was saying that. And it's the least fun Sonic game I have ever played in my life. So I guess the point is that I care way too much about a cartoon blue hedgehog. Don't play Sonic Forces. But please don't hate on people that like the 3D Sonic games, because they can be done well. Play Sonic Adventure 2 again. I know people make fun of it, but I think there's a lot of complexity there, and the Chow Garden stuff was great. I think the physics were pretty spot on. Even the mech sections were fun in a very different way, and I love the treasure hunting sections. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. But let's improve it instead of... I just don't want people to look at Forces as bad as it is. And I don't want you to buy Forces. Don't buy Forces. But I don't want people to look at that and go, well, 3D Sonic sucks. I'm not quite sure what the point of this is. Maybe I won't air it. Don't do drugs. And don't play Sonic Forces.